What's up, guys? I'm Travis, and you're watching Upgraded RC. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're all doing good. I am doing great. I can't say as much for the weather outside today. It just started snowing. We're kind of in the middle of a snowstorm here, and it looks like it's coming down pretty heavy. So I doubt I'm going to get a chance to get out and bash this at all today, but that's okay. It's a good day for inside. It's a good day for upgrades. Guys, we are up to upgrade number 3 on this bomber here. If you remember our first upgrade, we went ahead and replaced the drag link and the tie rod and all of the upper and lower links with a stainless steel 1/4-inch kit from Incision. Worked out great. If you haven't done that yet, you definitely want to do that. Number 2, we went ahead and replaced our lower trailing arm with the Vanquish adjustable rear lower trailing arm. This worked out great. It looks good. It's a lot more stout. The other controlling arms would always seem to bend right here about an inch from this pivot point. They're notorious for that. They flex, and Axial's tried to fix it, but I don't think they did a very good job. So we went ahead and threw these Vanquish trailing arms on here. Actually, 2 thumbs up, guys. Worked really good. Now today, for our third upgrade, and I've already told you guys what it's going to be on the last video if you were watching, we're going to go ahead and put a Swaybar on the rear of our bomber here. Now, in my first video, the unboxing of this, you heard me complain quite a bit about how it was almost impossible to really drive it in any good at all without a sway bar. As you gas it, it's got so much articulation and so much flex, guys, that when you gas it, it just wants to twist. And as soon as it starts twisting, it just goes over. So it's really hard to take corners at high speed or anything like that whatsoever. So we went ahead and I took my shocks and I ran the shock mount. Instead of putting it in the first hole, we went to the second hole. That lowered our center of gravity a little bit and it helped out a little bit. But still, I still think it's important, it's imperative to have this sway bar on here. Without it, it's just not near as much fun. You don't have the control that you should have. Now, I will say one thing, guys. If you're using this bomber for strictly crawling applications and you're not really bashing around or anything, you probably don't want to do this upgrade. Because when we put the sway bar in, you're going to lose all of your articulation. Instead of gassing it and the tires twist now, the whole axle is going to go up. The tires are going to work in unison now. So it's going to be a lot better if you're doing any type of speed whatsoever. So much more control. It's kind of imperative to have it. If you are just crawling at like a ½ mile an hour or 2 miles an hour, you probably don't want this upgrade. So just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and get to it, guys. So guys, we will be installing the Currie ANTIROCK V2 sway bar on the bomber here. Now, people say that this does not fit the bomber. It's meant for the Yeti or the Wraith. I think it's going to fit, and if it doesn't fit because of what they say doesn't fit, I already have a plan to fix that, so no worries. Let me go ahead and I'll show you what's in the bag. I'll get you guys a part number here in case you're interested, and we'll put it in. So here you go, guys. For any of you that are interested in the part number, this is the Currie ANTIROCK Yeti sway bar. This is version 2 in clear. They do also make this in a black and a gray. I don't know what those part numbers are, but for the clear, the part number is VPS08301. So there you go. Let's go ahead and see what we got inside now. All right, go ahead, open this up here and see what they gave us. All right, so in our kit, here are our ANTIROCK sway bars. Those are beautiful. Here is our torsion rod. Here are some brass spacers to go over the torsion rod. And then here is our link kit. And then you get some screws and some socket head screws. That's what's in the kit. No sticker, guys. All right, so one thing I wanted to point out, guys, that nobody else ever does. The mount that holds your torsion bar and your brass spacers, this piece right here, look at the bottom. See that right there? That is a set screw or a socket head screw. You need to screw that down a little bit or take it completely out. Otherwise, you will never ever get this brass piece to fit in there. It won't fit because the set screws up. So lower that down, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put these brass pieces in both sides, and we're going to stick our torsion bar through the center of it. Then we can go ahead and tighten the set screw back down after everything's in there. Okay, now that you've got your brass spacers in there and your torsion bar through the center of both of them, now you can tighten up that set screw on the bottom. Just don't tighten it up super tight, guys. It's just going to go until it stops and touches the brass. If you go more than that, you'll actually see it start pushing up on the bar and bending it. You don't want your bar to be bent. You want your bar to be straight. These set screws are strictly here just to hold the brass piece, and they do not need to be that tight. The brass is already wedged in between this plastic here, so don't make that set screw too tight. All right, guys, now we can go ahead and install our anti-sway bars. Now, keep in mind, what you want to make sure you're doing here is your torsion bar right here, there's a flat spot on it. On one side of the torsion bar, there's a flat spot on both ends. Go ahead and make sure that flat spot is sticking up. Also, make sure that your torsion bar is centered side to side so that you have exactly the same amount of torsion bar sticking out on both sides. That way, when you put your sway bar on here, you'll see that the torsion bar comes all the way out to the end and stops. It's pretty much flush right there. It's going to be exactly the same on the other side. Now, when you're putting this on, all you got to do is take your socket head screw and go ahead and run that down through there. Put some blue Loctite on it. I might try blue to start with and might go to red if it keeps coming off. But go ahead and set that in there, both nice and tight on both sides. So there you go. After we put our sway bar on and our set screw in here with some blue Loctite and got it all locked down, there you go. Now we just got to take and build our links on the rear end and we'll be done. All right, so all we got left to do is put our rod ends together. What you're going to do is you're going to take your stainless steel link here and your rod end, and you're going to screw your rod end into one end and then the other. After you get done with that, we'll go ahead and press our pivot balls into the rod ends, and that's pretty much we're done, guys. Now, this is the piece that everyone says is going to cause the problems that's going to make this kit not work on the bomber. Let me zoom in so you can see what's going on here. All right, so this is the reason why everyone says this will not fit the bomber. It's because of this piece here. They're saying that once you get your rod ends screwed onto the ends, eye to eye is too long, and what's happening is it's hitting your roll cage or your frame when you're compressing. So what people are doing to get away from that is they're taking just a regular screw or whatever. You can get some socket head stock or whatever you want, some all thread. I just took a regular screw and cut the end off of it, cut the head off, and made it the correct length so that when I screw both of my rod ends in here, they're going to be closed like this. So that's going to be a lot shorter distance than me screwing these on to here. You can see the difference in the length. So this one they're saying does not hit and this one does. You know what, just for the hell of it, guys, we're going to put these together here and we're going to see if it hits. If it doesn't, awesome. If it does, we'll go ahead and we'll build the kit like this. Now, just so you guys know, these are just Traxxas E-Revo rod ends, okay? There's nothing special to them. Here's the kit right here, just so you know, it's $53.47. That comes with all of the rod ends and the pillow balls, and these are exactly the same ones as these. So I'm going to put it together so we got a long one and a short one, and we're going to try them both and see what the difference is. Okay, guys, so I tried out the long ones that it came with, and it does hit the cage if you compress all the way. Now, depending on the suspension you're using, you may not compress far enough to have a problem with this. I'm all about performance. I want to be able to compress all the way, so we went ahead and made a shorter one. And basically, the screw that I showed you guys, I don't even know what size it was. It doesn't matter. None of these have threads inside of them anyway. It's just plastic. So whatever you can get to bite and go in there, I believe the correct size that you actually need, what's on the end of this, is a 2mm by 8/32 or something like that. But just get any screw and screw it in there and then screw them close together like this. What that does is that gives you from eye to eye, it gives you 3/4 of an inch less than the longer ones. So you have 3/4 of an inch more compression before you're going to hit the cage. If you do hit the cage, I haven't put these on yet, but it makes sense they're shorter. It's going to work better, so I'm going to go ahead and stick these on. Okay, so that did work, guys. You can see how the links are shorter now, and it was rubbing on the cage right here. So watch, let me go ahead and compress it for you. See how we clear now, just barely? Before, right here, we were hitting with this. So now we have plenty of room to compress it all the way, and I believe it's working pretty good. I mean, if I pick up on one tire, look what happens. We compress a little bit on that side, we got a little bit of articulation, but it starts to pick up the other side. So when we're running down the road there really fast or we're gassing it, it's not just going to go like this and flip over now. Now the other side is kind of forced to come up as well. So that's going to help us out a lot with stability. All right, guys, so that's pretty much going to wrap up this video on the installation of our Currie Antirock Swaybar installed in the Bomber. It does fit. I told you guys we were going to make it fit. Now, what do I think of this? I think this is awesome. I've had real Jeeps in the past, guys, that have had Currie Antirock Swaybars on them. And you know what? It looks exactly like this one. So kudos, good job, Vanquish, on the scale details. You guys know I don't care about scale details at all. I am 100% performance, all go, no show. But anyway, this is a great upgrade for our Bomber, guys. Unless, the only reason I can see you wouldn't want this, like I said, if you were doing some rock climbing or something, you're going to lose a lot of your articulation here. You've still got some, see? But see how as I pick up this side, the other side goes up too. So this is not going to be your best rock climber, guys. But guess what? This is not a rock climber, it's not a rock crawler, this is a rock racer. It has it right in its name. It's the RR Bomber, the rock racer. This platform is modeled after the King of Hammers winner, guys. I don't know if you're familiar with the King of Hammers or not, but it's one of the most prestigious rock races in the world. It does all kinds of damage to your vehicle. So this is a rock racer. It is not meant to crawl over the rocks, it's meant to jump over the rocks. Or any other obstacles that gets in its way. Just get through it as fast as you can with as minimal amount of damage. That's what this is for. If you guys want to go crawl, go get an SCX-10, slap a Jeep body on there, and crawl to your heart's content, guys. This is a rock racer. The only reason I could think of if maybe you didn't want this anti-sway on here is, I don't know, maybe you like walking out to the middle of your field to get exercise and flip this car back over on its tires after it's rolled because you did a simple turn and it just rolls over all the time. I mean, if you're going to be jumping or going fast or bashing or rock racing or anything of that sort, I cannot see not having the sway bar on here, guys. It is imperative. I ran this car for about 2 weeks with no sway bar on it. It was terrible. I was constantly going out to turn it over. It was really just no fun at all. And actually, if you're listening, I really wish you guys would incorporate even just a cheap plastic sway bar back here so people that get this out of the box, they can put that plastic sway bar on there and enjoy this car. If you do not have it, it really does suck. Unless you're rock crawling or, like I said, want to just keep turning it over. Other than that, you really do need this. It's imperative. So guys, that is it for this video. If you have any questions or anything, as always, please do not hesitate to comment below and let me know what your question is. I will get back with you. It may not be right away, but I promise I will. Other than that, hey, I've been saying this on all my videos. We got a new Facebook group out there. It's called Upgraded RC Bashers, Crashers, and Crawlers. Go there. You can ask a question there. I can interact with you a lot better there. You can show me pictures and videos. Maybe I'll answer your question. Maybe someone else will. Maybe everyone in the group will give you their 2 cents on what your question is. I don't know. You can also post your pictures there in your video. You can see other people's pictures and videos. You can see what they're doing. Maybe grab some ideas and run with it as your own, or maybe you're just bored and you want to cruise around and just see what's out there, what everybody else is doing. It's a great place for that. And I'm also posting local events there, guys. So if something's happening locally and you want to see what's going on, go there and check it out. You'll be able to figure out what's going on. Well, that's about it, guys. It's kind of a crappy day outside here, so I'm not going to get a chance to go out and run this around for you, but on the next video I will, and I'll tell you exactly what I thought of it, but I already know it's awesome. Just sitting here on my bench, it's awesome. I can see it working. I can see what's going on. Guys, until the 4th video that's coming out, which is next, right around the corner, I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You're going to have to watch it and see what it is. Anyway, I am Travis. You're watching Upgraded RC. Peace out!